There are many ways of describing what's happening in Egypt and what has been happening there over the last 2.5 years. And the way I see it, both as an Egyptian but also as a political analyst and someone who teaches political science, is that there is a fundamental change that happened in Egypt in 2011. This fundamental change is that for the first time in a very long time, the Egyptian people kind of started to have a voice. And this voice that was expressed through multiple political organizations, some of them are liberal, some are Islamist, and some are not politically active, is that there is a desire among the majority of Egyptians to see their country, like all other countries, to see it a democratic, functioning state that is closer to the democratic ideal than it is to any other political system. And unfortunately, the last year and a half of the democratic transition has been derailed into what the majority of Egyptians deem a new authoritarian rule that is led by the Islamists, who were truly elected, but they interpreted their electoral victory as a mandate to basically do whatever they want with the political system and with the political transition. And this is not what we collectively have agreed to, voted for the president in order to achieve. And this is partly why you see this shift in the Egyptian public opinion, and you have a majority of people again taken to the streets demanding change. Now, the question today is whether we dwell on the past and try to name what happened, whether this is a coup or a public uprising supported by the military and so on, or we look to the future and see how we ensure that what's happening in Egypt today leads to a democratic, or becomes a democratic transition, leads to a democratic functioning state. Personally, again, as a citizen of that country, I think this is where I would focus. And I would like to see the others, the international community, through a combination of pressure, but also encouragement and engagement, working in the direction of making sure that this becomes a democratic transition. And there are multiple ways of doing it. But ultimately, the outcome and what I think the regime, the emerging regime, should be judged on is how much it complies to democratic standards and rules that are applicable elsewhere. This is where I think the focus should be, instead of focusing on what happened in the past.